sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles in my path to liberation and nations. May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering, and save love, establish them in the state of answer, past, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. O Mother Sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles to my path to liberation and nations. May they experience happiness, be separate from suffering, and save love, establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. Dala Damwara Sibeda, no Parasibeke. Tarba dan damje jembe barde jubara zeba damje jezo zebe mananga dan nyambe zemje damje dewa dan de dongara dan jar nyorde lana meba yangda bara zobe sanjo rumbo je do bara Dasandra, I achieve enlightenment. I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. Under death, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. From now under this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with the body, speech, and mind. We take refuge in the kind rule Lama and the lineage Lamas. We take refuge in the deity of the mandalas of Yadams. We take refuge in the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in the noble Drakas, darkness, and the Dharma gardens, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the example of the Bodhisattvas. As superior as Buddhas embodied enlightenment and the progress on the Bodhisattva's path, are true for the benefit of all sentient beings giving birth to Bodhicitta, and apply myself to complete the stage of the path. In the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, most excellent. I take refuge under enlightenment's reach by the merit of Janaras and other good deeds. May all Mother Sentient beings, the boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering, the causes of suffering. May they never be separate from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faithful mind to all Tathagatas and the 10 directions. Those who have already reached the Tathagata state, those who are reaching it at present, and those Tathagata state to come. Through the power of Samantabhara's prayers, may all Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind. I prostrate to them, multiply in my body as many times as there are atoms of the earth. May each atom I visualize as many Buddhas as there are atoms, surrounded by countless Bodhisattvas. Thus all space is filled with Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through manifesting, chanting, expressing the great ocean of the excellent qualities. To all Buddhas, I make offerings of arrows of pure flowers, flower garlands of music, anointing oils, manifesting light, and fragrant incense. I make offering to them of fine garments, perfume and purple, pour Idaha's moon and orange in the most beautiful way. I visualize the highest and most extensive offerings, and offer them with great faith to all Buddhas. I prostrate to Buddhas and make offering to them, following the deeds of the great Bodhisattva Samantabhara. I confess to you, Buddhas, whatever negative actions I have committed due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all the Buddhas and the 10 directions of the great Bodhisattva and the Pakika Buddha. Those who have attained Aharasha, those who have entered the path of Aharasha and all other beings. I recourse to all great protectors and the Buddhas to turn the hearts of Dharma, asking them gradually to the enlightened states. I supplicate those Buddhas intending to pass into Parinirvana to living long for as many eons as there are atoms of the earth. in order to benefit all beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying for the sake of enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. The ground is spanking with the scented water and strewn with the flowers. It is adorned with the meadow, the spirit mountain, the four continents, and the sun and the moon. As the Buddha fell for it, may all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha first. To the lamas who possess the Tirikayas, I offer altar in all the sacred offerings. With my body, word, and all that is visible, please grant me the supreme realization and enlightenment. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicings, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. Om Guru Rana Mandala Punza Munga Samandra Savarana Samaye Ahom. I call refuge on the name of the world. Your fame provides the territories world. You are the victor, Varjadara Vidovador. I bow at the feet of Father Jiti Songo. Continually I think of no one but you. Compassion one grant your blessing. This way realize unlimited nature of mind. Please turn the way of the Dharma of the true workers and the combination according to this position and likewise the mental capacity of sentient beings. His wisdom is brilliant like the sun, free of the clouds of true words, and perceive the various steps of knowledge in the true nature. For this reason, he holds the wisdom text at his heart. He has a compassion for all beings who suffer from the darkness of ignorance and the prison of samsara as a father for only son. Like a thunderclap, he wakens those who are sleeping in ignorance and losing the charm of karma through the 60 branch of Haramana's speech. He wears the wisdom sword to cut the settling of suffering and to dispel the darkness of confusion. In the Buddhist hour form, he is pure from beginningless time, fully accomplished in the 10 levels and perfect in the body of all knowledge. I supplicate you, Majority, adorned by the 112 Son of Buddha, to dispel darkness of my ignorance. Wange Joramo, Wange Joramo, Wange Joramo, Wange Joramo, Wange Joramo, Wange Joram. Wange Joramo, Wange Joramo, Arabazanade, 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 Arabazanade. You who are the perfect, beautiful body, whose flame of wisdom blesses, and dispel darkness of worldly ignorance, how possible before you and bless you, Majority. Damge doje jaje reisen don yinje medo deje bonjo bo serje lembo dawer jibe ge jaje jarbe jalo zorwan de doje jaje de lo naro damar ba melai jije gambo ba ba mo ba jarwa indigong Kajo lama nan lai zorwa de rome je yen je bodan de zon san je gen je ngo wo nye ran sen ji ge ngo zon don ze sa ve la me je la zorwa de. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Morning.
Morning.
So it's a little bit shaking the internet, right?
Yes. Yes.
Can you hear or?
Yes, it's a little, might be a little choppy. Yes.
You're muted.
Yeah, it may be a little choppy. The voice.
Okay, so I can try something.
It sounds pretty good there, Kempo. Maybe just continue.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds really good, Kempo.
Unclear, that's most important. Great, then.
We-
Unclear, that's what.
We are getting echoes
Ah.
though. So
It's good now.
Okay, so now stage of meditation, waking the mind. So we have to wake up our mind, use this meditation. Then this stage of meditation, waking the mind, has introduction, main body of the text, conclusion. So we finish introduction. Then we are in the main body of the text. Main body of the text has chapter 8. So we are chapter 7. In this chapter 8 is divided by 2 sections, method and wisdom. So first 4 chapter is part of method. Then last 4 chapter is wisdom. So now we are in the wisdom chapter. Wisdom chapter, how to meditate on the development stage of scaffold means. So that's is a generation stage. Generation stage is usually we all the time practicing using this stage every day. We practice Yadam deities. So using this generation stages, we have to remind, thinking about this teaching, ground, path, result. So that's the follow this teaching. And now we are in the path. On the path has all these different level meditations on the path. So path, we talk about the outer level, inner level, and the secret levels. 3 different levels usually we practice Yadam deity, sadhana. The outer level is usually for beginners, practitioners. Use method is outer level sadhana, practice. Inner level is more practitioners. So secret level is realizers. The 3 different levels followed by individual capacity. These 3 different levels is also kind of a contradict, but truly it's no contradiction. It's due to the individual level capacity. So now on the path, so we visualize where right now we live the place is pure lane. Yadam deity is pure lane. That purify all impure perception for the land universal transform to the Buddha's pure lane. Then we visualize our lived house is transform, visualize the Buddha's palace. So inside there, visualize the throne and lotus flower, sun days, moon days, and the syllable transform to our bodies, Yadam deity. So that purify or birth karmic imprints. So then we visualize the Yadam deity and followed by these 3 important aspects. We have to visualize very clearly, vividly. So that's the reason we need Tankas statues. Use that, look often again. And when close your eye and appear to the the Buddha image clearly your mind. So also when you think about the Yidam deity, chant the mantra, calling the name, hearing the name, so the deity image is appear to your mind. So that is called the clearly vivid visualization. So we have to see the clearly Yidam deity's form, not this eyeball have to see. So our mind have to see the Yidam deity clearly appear to your mind. So that is the first aspect. That meditation helps the stop the fixation to the outer appearances. So outer appearances transform to the Yidam deity's form body. In the mantra galing, we talk about all seeing forms of Yidam deity. All hearing songs is mantra, all thoughts is dharmakaya. So that's the first level, this aspect, clear visualization helps all the seeing form is a Yidam deity. That's why we need all these tankas, statues, ritual object. Then we talked already about stable divine pride. So that is the hardest one. You can visualize the Yidam deity in front of you. It's not that difficult, not that hard. Hardest is like divine, stable divine pride. So that stable divine pride is actually arise or causes is like we meditate Mahamudra. We meditate Mahamudra often and often, then you can connect with the Yidam deity inner connections. So long as you have inner connections, then you you can meditate like stable divine pride. So this stable divine pride, you usually thinking about, oh, I am Yidam deity, and that kind of thoughts also not enough. So we have to create like, our service Yidam deity means like you have to meditate Mahamudra and recognize true nature. Long as you recognize true nature, then you have this stable divine pride. Stable is a causes is shamatha meditation, because when you meditate more shamatha, your meditation is more stable, your mind is stable. Divine pride is arise from vipassana and Mahamudra meditations. So that's why all the practices are dependent on each other, related to each other. So you really cannot say, oh, this is important, this is not. Everything is important. So when you cook the food, you need the fire, you need the gas, you need the stove, you need water, you need food. So everything you need. Otherwise, like you cannot cook the food, right? When you cook the food means you need all this many different kind of object or conditions we need, causes conditions we need. So like that, and our practice is goes right direction, successful. Your practice become accomplishment means we need all these different kind of techniques. We have to use all this method. So that's why without the shamatha meditation, your visualization is not stable. So you use the images kind of like short time is okay, but then easily gone, because the mind is easily follow the thoughts. So that's already we used to on beginningless time until now our minds follow the thoughts is already strong habitual at the karmic imprints, not easy to stop that. So take time, we need a patience, and create a mind is stable. takes years. So that's the first we have to more focus, shamatha. And then of course the divine pride is just all this practice is many different kind of practice. Result is comes for divine pride. Otherwise we say I am yidam deity, that doesn't help anything. So we recognize actually our nature mind, and yidam deity is a nature mind is inseparable. It's same essence, same quality, same the same nature, inseparable. So when you have that kind of realize or understanding, then you can use this divine pride meditation. So when we visualize the yidam deity in front of us with supplication to the yidam deity, it's easy, but ourselves create yidam deity means it's harder. So actually, not we create ourselves yidam deity, we discover ourselves as yidam deity. So this divine pride section in Vajrayana tradition, many people misunderstand. They will get confusions, and some get misunderstand wrong directions. So the part of the divine pride. Divine pride, people usually what they think is they use this symbol object not come from inner quality. They're using the auto level or this object, then they're showing I am the Buddha. So that's actually not enough. And inner is never transformed, not changed. So some people use these auto symbols. They carry all the time, and they kind of like they put in the body, and they're showing, I am the Buddha. So long as your mind is don't transform, not recognize nature is inseparable with the Buddha, yidam deities, auto body, whatever you using is not any benefit. So that's why in Vajrayana teaching is one part of we talk about the secrets means you really have to know through like understanding the practice. Otherwise, people use mislead. Because the showing is I am yidam deity. That thing is like showing all these auto level symbols created. They are yidam deity. Auto level symbols not create yidam deity. You can put Pema Samba's mask in your face. You can put all Pema Samba's cloth, heads, and katawangas, skull cups holding, but inner is ordinary, and auto is, you put all this mask cloth is that cannot transform. Just still you are ordinary person. So usually we have one example, tiger skins put into the donkeys. So always still is a donkey, you see auto level is tiger, but it's a donkey. So like that, you use all the symbols auto object, and long as you don't really understand the teaching inner qualities, still that person's ordinary. So auto level form this beginning for create for connections, and also that good for symbols, but sometimes people use misunderstand or mislead. They use that and they think that I'm yidam deity. It's not. So that's why it's divine pride means we visualize first Yadam deity in front of us. And then we visualize, meditate. First, you can, this step-by-step meditate. Meditate first shamatha a little bit. Your minds become very calm and relaxed peace. And then you visualize Yadam deity in front of you clearly. And then you look to your mind nature. So your mind nature is no thoughts, free from thoughts. Then you seeing Yadam deity, visualize the Yadam deity, your mind nature can easily connect with that because without a thought. That time then you front visualization Yadam and yourself connect with the innate mind and recognize inseparable. So you connect with the inner quality. So that's called the divine pride meditation. Then you really kind of feelings, fears, or is that meditation is powerful. Change our impure percepts or impure perceptions and impure thoughts, or it's become dissolved. So that part is a most important section. Vajrayana teaching, divine pride is. Then we have the talk about all this recollection of purity. So recollection of purity, we have to understand each symbols, meanings. If you don't understand everything, but generally you recognize all this shows us Buddha's qualities, then that's okay. Even you don't know all the details. So you have to understand this recollection of purity means all these different form bodies, symbols, showing the true nature quality. So otherwise, these symbols also people get misunderstand. So that's the reason we, take care. I mean, the sacred ritual object, don't let people using, and don't we put into the public place. So in the temple, usually we always create like piece for Buddhas in their images. So Radha and some Yadam deity, or we different kind of symbols, images we don't use for the public because they misunderstand. Example, like some people come to in temple, you have Radha for deities all in your wall and in the temple, the people think, wow, it's Buddhists always think is peace. So Buddhist is not a peace. Buddhist is create something different, anger or something, And then Yap and Yom and the Buddhist is free from attachment or not. Buddhist is stuck with attachment using this all object. So that kind of people have thoughts easily go misunderstand. So that's why first we have to share the teaching actually, understanding all this image, what the, showing the qualities. Then you use that, it's good. So you understand clearly, but you cannot show the others because others also have to understand first. That's why we call sacred ritual object. Also, the Buddha said Vajrayana teaching is called sacred mantrayana. Sacred mantrayana, they have two differences. Like sacred means one is important, right? I cannot make these two different pronunciations. Very similar. One is a high hidden, you don't show. One is so important, right? Yeah, so the both meaning is there. One is like you don't really show, you have to hide. The Buddha said we have to hide. Why? Because due to the individual level capacity. And not the Dharma have a problem, teaching has a problem. That's why we hiding. Not like that. We hiding is due to the individual. They don't understand the meaning. the essence of the teachings. They're going to misunderstand. That's why we have to hide them. And another is a treasure. That's why also secret, or like very important teaching. So I think these two meanings is there. Secret, sacred, or both. So that's the part we are today. The recollection of purity. So long as you understand all this recollection of purity, then you can use all this the different kind of images, tangas, object, ritual object, or is powerful. That everyone connect with you the inner natural quality, natural quality. Every symbols connect with you enlightening qualities. So if you don't understand this object, recollection of purity, then each object connect with you samsara. If you understanding these symbols, every recollection of purity, these symbols connect with enlightening qualities. That's the reason it's a very important section. So that's the today we are in the recollection of purity. Then page is today is page is 112.
108.
108.
110, the second paragraph of 110.
110. Okay. Yes, it's 110. Thanks, Measure. So page 110. And then here, before the page, I mean, in the page 110, the last paragraph today, but the first paragraph, we talk about male and female deity in non-dual union represented the union of skillful means and wisdom on the freedom from ordinary attachment. So that part is very important section. See, when the deity appears naked, this represents being unclothed by the covering of concepts. So union is free from attachment. Absolute truth, attachment is not exist actually. For us, this all the no virtuous negatives exist for us because we have delusions. And who is free from delusions, this attachment, anger, ignorance, they are not exist. So that's why see, when Naropa meet Telopa, he sharing this true, absolute true, I mean the no dualistic no dualistic kind of a teaching he giving for the Naropa. Naropa has completely practiced all this other part, but he has dualistic dualistic perception, yeah. And that's why Telopa, when Naropa meet, Telopa killing the fish. Naropa think, oh, he cannot be Telopa because he killing the fish. So cannot killing the other beings. And I cannot be, Naropa think I cannot be I'm his student, so he's an incorrect person. Then Telopa says absolute truth, killing is not exist. So he do like this, or the fish is alive, come back. Because he has that realized is for his perception is no killing is exist. Because all beings not exist. Then how beings know that, then how you going to care other beings? So it's no dualistic perception. That symbol is then you know, is no killing, no attachment, no anger, no ignorance. That symbolize the meanings is the Yab and the Yom union, and wrath for deities. Deity has form of animal heads, so that's all symbol showing this absolute true qualities, free from these concepts, you know, negative concepts, free from negative concepts, free from like dualistic precepts. That's we have to understand. Male and female deity in non-dual union represented the union of skillful means and wisdom on the freedom from ordinary attachment. So they don't have ordinary attachment. Long as we have ordinary attachment, then, you know, we have a dualistic perception, very strong. So then that is no virtuous deeds, because that create causes of samsara. So long as you have realized this true nature, non-dualistic, then it's free from that, you know, concepts. I mean, the ordinary concepts. Freedom from ordinary attachment. When the deity appears neck, this represents being unclothed by the coverings of concepts. So free from conceptual thoughts. Deities with white color body represents being unsullied by the stance of defilement. So this part is very important. That's why I'm going to read again and share with you, so we can remind again. I remind for you again. Actually, last week we talked. Deity with white color body representing being unsullied by the stance of defilements. So why is Yidam deity has a form color is the white color? Chinra is an example. Tara, because that represents being unsullied by the stand of defilements, free from all the defilements. And they point to the nature of mirror like wisdom. So then this followed by the 5 Buddhas. So each Buddha is representing white color. So white color is representing also the pacifying. Usually the deity's color is white color, associated with this mirror like wisdom. So Vajrasattva, Chinrezek, Tara, they all have white color. That's associated, I think, is mirror like wisdom, nature of mirror like wisdom. The color yellow represented the increase and enrichment of awakening qualities and the wisdom economy. So then Yidam deity has yellow colors. So that's a representative is quality and the wisdom of economy is enrichment, increase, actually increased. Is a representative south. South is increase. South Buddha is representative increase, and always color is yellow, and associated with the wisdom is of economic wisdom. The color red represents the passionate energy of compassion for all beings and the wisdom of discernment. Discernment, right?
Yes, sir.
Discernment. So that's it's a Buddha Amitabha, and Vajra Yoginis. Many has like red colors. It's representative is this Buddhas is power, magnetizing. So wisdom of discernment. The color green represents the unobstructed accomplishment of enlightenment activities and all accomplishing the wisdom. So many Buddha has color greens, like green Tara and like that. So that's all representative is accomplishment wisdom, is representative activities and all the complement wisdom. The color blue represents the unchanging Dharma Dharma and the wisdom of basic space. So the color black represents unchanging Dharma Dharma. Sometimes it's called dark blue and also actually dependent followed by teachings. Blue color or black color represents the unchanging Dharma Dharma. Sometimes the black color is representative wrath for deity. So representative the unchanging Dharma Dharma and the wisdom of basic space. Then that is essence of 5 Buddhas. Essence of 5 Buddha. 5 Buddha means not only the auto level form body. 5 Buddha means inner these 5 wisdoms. So this then where is this 5 wisdom is come from? This 5 wisdom is come from 5 afflictive emotions. So now we are ordinary people because we have these 5 afflictive emotions. Long as we have 5 afflictive emotions, we call ordinary person. And when we are become Buddha, so arise this afflictive emotion is transformed to the 5 wisdoms. So then each Buddha has these 5 wisdoms. Each Buddha must have to have. So each ordinary being has 5 afflictive emotions. So when we purify or this transform 5 afflictive emotions called 5 Buddhas, 5 wisdoms. Inner level called 5 wisdom, outer level called 5 Buddhas. So long as you have 5 afflictive emotions, when you have become Buddha, you have 5 wisdoms. So no good thing, we have 5 afflictive emotions. So that is the source of the 5 wisdoms. If you don't have afflictive emotions, then you don't have a source to become Buddha, because this table don't have 5 afflictive emotions. This table cannot become Buddha. He cannot arise 5 wisdoms. The reason is he don't have that source. We can become Buddha. We have 5 wisdom can arise because we have 5 afflictive emotions. 5 afflictive emotion is the source of the wisdom. Then this each emotion associated each wisdom. So if you follow the more detailed teachings, the hand, then Yidam deity has, and the hand has holding different kind of object. The hand implements also have specific symbolism. Each has a symbolism. 5 Pronjit Varjara represents 5 wisdoms. So 5 Varjara has 5 points, and also in the this one has 5 points. There has 5 points. Varjara is, I don't know, it's somewhere gone here. And so there also has a 5 point. The 5 point is representing 5 wisdoms. That's why it's when you hold this, this bear and Varjara in your hand, actually we have to recognize our true quality, nature, because we have 5 wisdom, we have to recognize. So when you use this Varjaras, the Varjayana, this ritual object, it's good. It's like you have to remind yourself you are Buddha. You need something, recognize connections. Otherwise, you just mind go somewhere else, like just you saying like this. Kids, they play with the toys. So that is not any essence. Then becomes this is just toys. not for special object. So you wanted to become just toys, same as the kids using, or you wanted to become Vajrayana ritual object. It's up to us, right? So when you use this object, you have to recognize this object symbols and look to yourself and put in the step of divine pride to yourself. So otherwise, it's same as just kids using the toys, no difference. And then of course, like other people, someone don't connect with the spiritual dharma, that thing we are crazy because using this kind of thing not make sense, right? This is showing, you know, the samsara nirvana inseparable. Actually have two faces, but it's only one dharma. So samsara nirvana is inseparable one. So then, of course, they have meanings, more details. Sometimes go more details. There's lots of information each one has. Vajra represents 5 wisdoms. Weapon represents cutting through emotional poisons. So sometimes this wrathful deity has many hands. Each hand holding different kind of these symbols. So, you know, that's showing the true quality is cutting the emotional poisons. It represents cutting through emotional poison, like the gold knife, or swords, or axe, and something, you know, like weapons in the hand that not using for other being for suffering, killings, right? For the killing is a samsara's cause, you know, stop the samsara's cause. That's why he says cutting through emotional poisons. So that's representative cutting emotional poisons. The Buddhas who hold that Buddhas already free from emotional poisons. The precious jewels represent being the source from which all positive qualities aspiring. So then you have to see, look at this one. Precious jewel is like ordinary, our perception is great, right? Precious jewel is great. For easily people think is treasure on our perception or perception is nice, great, we wanting. So that is like connect with the Buddha's enlightening qualities. See, jewel represents the source from which all positive quality aspiring. Positive positive quality aspiring is bodhicitta, right? Love, compassion, bodhicitta, wisdom. These are all the Buddha's qualities. So we aspiring that, we wishing that. So that is symbolizes precious jewels. And this wrathful deity holding symbol is purification. So that's why I say cutting through emotional poisons. And peaceful Buddha's holding symbol is showing the qualities. It's realization. So actually it's the same, but looking different directions. So you say, I'm conquer for Maras. What I'm going to get symbols. Corpse, to go knife, score cups, right? Because I subdued this negativity. So when you subdue the negativity and your symbol is not nice for our percepts, our percept must have to have something good, you know. Usually every individual like our, you know, who has dualistic, follow the cultures, and then something need good for us, our eye and the percepts. That's why it's different. Like when we offering object, it's like flowers or the good object, beautiful things for offering to is symbolize, is create Buddha's quality. Followed our percepts. The inner is follow the cutting emotions. So that's why it's offering is kapalas and the skull cups, blood and bones, flesh, meat. So all this is offering is representative free from these emotions. Emotions using for offerings. Also emotions used for the source of the wisdom. Positive quality aspiring. The lotus representative being unsullied by the faults. So the Buddha's hand holding the lotus, Chinrezek has, Tara has. So this is all is representative being unsullied by faults. Then to go or carve dakini knife, to go knife, called to go knife is a dakini knife. It's a very beautiful, that's dakini knife. Okay, dakini knife represents cutting through conceptual thoughts and pronoia. Conceptual thoughts, so that's cutting, and represents cutting through conceptual thoughts and pronoia. The Kapala skull cup represents a non-conceptual wisdom knowing. Kapala, this to-go knife is very similar, but a little bit different aspects. Just, we looking different aspect, little bit kind of similar. To-go knife is a concept, cutting through the conceptual thoughts. Kapala skull cup represents non-conceptual wisdom. Knowing. So also wisdom knowledge, skull cup is representative. The blood feeling the skull cup represents one cushion, the 4 Mara demons. So blood is one kush, subdued or the 4 Maras, conqueror the 4 Maras, demons. That's usually Vajra Yogini holding this to-go knife and also skull cup. So that represents is free from conceptual thoughts, non-conceptual, and also one kush or 4 maras, demons. Then this is just follow the general information. If you go to the specific sadhana, they also give you a little bit different informations. And here, just all is cover for all the Yadam deities generally. Long as you understand this section, then you don't have any problem with deity practice. Practice with it's all this wrath for deities. So you have idea, you understand it. Katawanga tridents also has specific symbolism. So Katawanga is a specific symbolism, is followed by each deity has different symbolism. Vajra Yogini Katawanga is representative method and the Chara Sambara. But sometimes that symbolizes Tirikaya and the different ways they explain. That's why also has specific symbolism. But you can find the exact symbolism outlined in the text or whatever practice you are doing. So you can find this symbolism, each practice follow a little bit different. It's generally is the same, but this one not cover everything. details because some yadam like see Kalachagra has many hands and he holding so many objects. And Yamin Taka has many hands, he holding many objects. Varjakalaya, they're holding different kind. They each has different symbolized meanings. But main point is just here, what we talked, actually all included there. Mostly this wrathful deity is holding something warpings. Yeah, and this some, like kind of danger object. So not for easy for, people or like someone who has like kindness, is loving for others. That thing, oh, this cannot be, or I don't want to see this object. So that kind of always yadam deity like this wrathful beings holding. But we have to understand this is showing the all this negative is subdued, purified. And then peaceful deity is showing the qualities, yadam deity. So now all three of these above mentioned elements are important for deity practice. So long as you know this, we already mentioned about, visualize clearly, vividly, and stable divine pride, recollection of purity. These three things is most important. Of the above mentioned elements are important for deity practice. So that's followed by outer level, inner level, secret level, or the three levels, three of these. Because when you visualize the yadam deity in outer level, front of you, so you have to visualize it clearly. You have not dropped, that is yadam deity. Even you visualize front of that image is clearly, you visualize the same time you not dropped, that is Buddha. Otherwise you no connections. So stably divine pride means like even you not thinking about I am Buddha, but in the front visualization also you not dropped, is Buddha. Then go inner level. Ourself is meditate Buddha, yadam deity, of course stable divine pride. And then we meditate, visualize, we have to understand all this recollection of symbolism, recollection of purity. So long as you know of this theory, then your practice yadam deity is all go right direction. So everything is great become. All of these above mentioned elements are important for the deity practice. So we should train our minds in them by focusing on each one and alternating between them until we have gained acquaintance with each. So we have to meditate and practice understanding and become used to that practice. We have to create ourselves that. In the extrovert, so this section is talking about this generation stage. Vajrayana practice is different than Sutra traditions. So Mahayana has Sutra tradition and Vajrayana tradition. So we cannot say Vajrayana is totally different from the Mahayana. Vajrayana is Mahayana, but Mahayana has two traditions, Sutra tradition and Vajrayana tradition. So what is the difference from the Sutrayana tradition, Mahayana, Vajrayana is, in the external worker of Sutrayana, we are applying antidotes to contract what we need to purify. So Sutraya tradition is always using method. Solution is opposite. Okay, so I have anger. What I'm going to do? Yeah. I like anger? No, right? I don't want my anger. So because long as I have anger, I don't have happy and joy. So I wanted to get rid of my anger. What I have to use method, solution. I have to meditate, love, compassion. So love, compassion is antidote to the anger. Same as heat, antidote cold. So cold, antidote heat. Yeah. So we have to look solution like that way. It's opposite of method. And I have ignorant. Then what I have to do? I have to study and understanding, practice, manjushri, right? You know. So that's all the solution. Sutrayana tradition. Then you have a strong attachment object. So we have to meditate impermanent and thinking about all this object is using our knowledge or logically approving not exist. Everything is emptiness. So that's the method for free from this negative or emotions. So that's why it's applying antidote to contract what we need to purify. That's why in Sutra tradition, each emotion has method. Our method is opposite and the solution. So to contract clinging to the rareness of appearances, clinging to rareness of appearances, see, attached to all this object. So then we have very strong fixation to this object appearances. What do we have to do? Clinging to the rareness of appearances. We think everything exists permanently, inherently. So then we have to meditate. We disconstruct everything down to the subtlest atomic particles. So we have to investigate all these phenomena. That's why this so many logic using for all phenomena is approving by emptiness. So we have to divide it, like think about the table. Each of you front have a table. Where is the table? Which part really we call the table? You have to don't use the knife and something X cut the table, okay? Use your knowledge cut. Yeah, and we investigate ourselves, like, okay, table. So this table has 4 legs. It's not one table because it's four legs. It's 4 legs. It cannot be one table there. So then they have upper part. Okay, upper part is called 5 tables there, not one. So it's if one we cannot find one, then how you can have 5? So it's logically you have to follow. You cannot have $1 bill, or you can have $5. Yeah. So you cannot have one table because there's 4 legs. First, think about it. Mostly table has 4 legs, okay? Then upper part, okay, 5 tables, not one. Then you don't have one table there. So if you don't have one, then how can you have 5? 5 is not exist. Then also you go more detail and then take off each leg, not one leg, 4 legs. Each leg has so many part or particles. So then table is like upper part is use this logic and investigate, take all part of particles. So many. Then close more details, you go subtle level, you cannot find anything exist inherently, permanently. Everything is dissolved to emptiness. So if the table is exist permanently, when you use logic investigate, you have to find something permanent exist there. We cannot find anything permanently inherently exist when you investigate. So that means the table is truly not exist. Then what is this table? Because it's a delusion. So we just not investigating. We say it's table, but you low investigate, table is not exist. Same like that. Then house. We say this one house, but how can be one? Because it's many doors, many windows. Yeah. Then it's upper part, lower part, it's directions, so many there. And you cannot have one. How can you have one? So many object there. So then you don't have one. So how can you have many object there? Because many object also not exist. If one is not exist, many also cannot exist. So you investigate, your house is not exist. Your car is not exist. Where are you going to call the car? So take all these part of particles not exist. Car is not exist. Then same thing like you investigate yourself. Usually say I, my. So where is it usually going to be record I and my? Is your hand or your head or your legs, or where is you're going to call I? So everything together. We say everything together. Everything together is cannot be I. Because this all together comes called table, but I cut down all pieces, everything put together there, live there. No one called table. Or it's individual percepts. All the part or particle comes together, we call table, but actually that's also delusion, dualistic, and we say like dreaming, delusion is okay, but truly not. If you everything there is you call table, then up cut all these table pieces, leave it there. Is can you call table? No, it's a junk, right? Junk is there together. So that means all together also no table. And you just put different directions called table then, or chair. Like this all we create our perceptions. So truly that no exist object. Then this table is for us for table. Actually, my friend is not table, it's box. But I can call table today because I use for table. Yeah, so that means like this is not truly exist. It's always a percept. If table is truly exist permanently, all sentient beings have to see the table. So kids born, baby cannot see the tables. We call the tables, but kids don't call the table. They don't see the table for them. Then of course animals, no one see the table. Animal has different percepts. So this all is individual perceptions. Object is not truly inherently exist anything there. If object is truly inherently exist, then you have to, every beings have to see same thing. All sentient beings have to see that object is the same. We call flowers. Okay, it's for us it's flower, but bugs is food. Yeah, not flower for them. Some another bugs comes at their house for them, not food. Maybe some is this flowers food, some beings for this is a poison. So all different being has different, appearance of perception. So different kind. That means that this is not truly exist. Do you understand? Okay, so we say mother, father. So it's always dependent. Some people's mother, some's wife. Yeah, some's grandmother, some people's grandmother. So some people's child, the daughter, not mother, is some people's daughter. So that means mother is not exist inherently. Father is inherently not exist there. Everything is dependent. So that method using investigate is called sutra tradition, Mayamika using. that method is everything recognize emptiness, no exist inherently. So that helps become, the applying antidote to construct what we need to purify. We have contract clinging to rareness of appearances. So that's why we constructed everything down to the subtlest autonomic particles. That section is all use logic investigating, followed by Buddhist philosophy. It's very suited for the scientists. So that section is then Buddha said, investigation me, investigate my teachings. So this logic is most important than your devotions. So it's a Buddhist science. Buddhist is a science. Buddhist is a religion, right? Buddhist is we can say philosophy. So the philosophy and the science is just similar. Philosophy essence is science, investigating, use the analytical method. So that's where they become, we constructed everything down to the subtle atomic particles, become no attach, no clinging to rareness of appearances. So you meditate emptiness. To contract self-clinging, then recognize, I and myself is no exist. So you meditate selflessness of a person realize. Selflessness of phenomenal realization is free from samsara. So that's why contracting means, we discontract everything down to subtle atomic particles to contract self-clinging. We meditate on selflessness and so forth. So we have to meditate the selflessness of a person, investigate ourselves. Where is I? Your head, or your eye, or your nose, or your mouth? Where is your calling I? Your ear is cannot be self because some people no ears. Is still have self. Your hair is cannot be self, so you can cut the hairs. If self is a hair, it's easy to get rid of. Because you cut the hair, then it's yourself is done. You get selflessness of a person, but hair is not self. So like that, actually all our part of body is not self, but hair is a little bit easy. Some people, losing your finger or losing your hair is which is going to choose. I think they're going to choose losing the finger. Yeah, the people don't see your one finger is gone. So people don't see. So that time you're a little bit pain, suffering, but use the medicines like maybe not that much pain. And hair is you gone, so it's then you have strong attach fixation to your hair. You want it to looking great, then you don't want to lose your hair. Yeah. So that means the finger is no hair, no self. Comparing to hair is more important than your finger. If you ask 100 people, maybe 70 people, especially younger people, are going to pick up the losing the finger than hair. Yeah. So that's why you look all this your body, which is most important. That is more selfish, self clinging to that. If you lose that, you have more suffering. So that is not object, it's how we clinging to the object, hoarding, right? So that is all is dependent, actually. Then see, some people don't have eyes, so eyes we think is self and my eye, so important with fixation. clinging to our I. But some people don't have I. Still that person has I and self and clinging their own self. But that means your I is not really self. Then see just example like finger and hair between, like people pick up, lose the finger but not the hair. One day you lose the hair, still that person was I and self. So the arm is not self because some people don't have arms. They still have I and self. So you investigate that way. Actually, whole your body, its I and self is not exist. This body is not self. Then why we call self and I is whole this body? Because it's due to clinging, fixation. So same is like think about the cars. In the dealership, the cars, you never call my car, but when you bought, it's your name already, then you say that my car. And that car get crashed, something wrong, and you suffering, you upset. When the car is the same car is in the dealership, whatever problem going on, you don't care anything. You know upset, you know suffering. Because everything is why we suffering, because due to the clinging and the fixations. So that's why is we meditate the selflessness of a person, and who has realized the selflessness of a person, then their body is the same as just trees branches. The tree branch cut down, tree never say suffering, right? Like that. So selflessness, person realizes your another person give a massage in the left side, another person cutting, not use the knife cutting your right side, but he never attached to the left side who give the massage. He treated to the who cutting your body right side. So that is called economity, and realize selflessness of personal realization, no attachment, no anger. So because he no pain, and other side someone cutting your body, no pain, no suffering, because no fixation, no grasping. Other side giving massage, there's no attachment. So that's why there no attached to that person who give massage and who give you, the cutting your body, other side, no anger to that person. So that is called selflessness realization. Many meditator has that level, use that method. Okay, so that is another method, sutra tradition using that method. Everything down to the subtle atomic particles to contract self-clinging. We meditate on selflessness and so forth. Contracting means applying the opposite energy to overcome something. That's it. So we use the, contracting means like applying the opposite energy. You have anger. Opposite energy is compassion. So you have attachment. Opposite, applying contracting is meditate impermanent, meditate emptiness. So that's all. It's like method, sutra tradition applying positive energy to overcome something. Positive energies overcome to negative energies. Using the opposite of a method, solutions. If you get too hot, what are you going to do? You use air condition, right? Temporary solution. So you too cold, what are you going to use? Like heaters. So that's a temporary solution. Better solution is too cold is change the weather, warm weather. Yeah. And more better solution. So that is more permanent solution, kind of like for us. Like that, it's they're using opposite of the solution, overcome something. In sacred mantrayana, we do not do it this way. Okay, so this you have to understand. Otherwise, you don't understand what means Vajrayana tradition, Sutra tradition differences. Very similarities, many similarities. Of course, Vajrayana talk about love, compassion, bodhicitta, and very important. Sutra tradition talk about love, compassion, bodhicitta. Vajrayana tradition also talk about four thoughts meditation. Sutra tradition also talk about four thoughts meditations. This Sutra tradition also talk about visualizing Yidam deities. There has Yidam deities, Sutra tradition, all this piece for Yidam deities. Vajrayana tradition, Yidam deities more for focus for the wrath for deities. And because it's, it's opposite of energy, I mean the like subduing quality, showing the subduing, subduing, negative is subduing, showing the qualities. So that's why here in the what we do in the Vajrayana, one of so in the sacred Mantrayana we do not do it this way. Then sacred Mantrayana, what do we do? One of the unique facets of the skillful means of Mantrayana is using like to subduing like. Just as we need to use whatever to dislodge water from the air, and just as we need to apply fire in order to heal the pain of a burn wound created by fire. Okay, so Vajrayana tradition, solution, method, it's called special method. Last week I talked to, it's kind of for more ancient traditional medicine is come from. So now this Western medicine is always like solution, is like Sutra traditional solutions. And Vajrayana is always for medicine is also created by those like for, ancient medicines. They're using totally different method. And here see one of the unique phases, like we totally different method of the skillful means or Mantrayana. It's using like to subduing like, just as we needed to using water to dislodge water from the air. If water is going into your ears, so what you have to use, take out your water. You have to put more water in the air, and that water bring, take other inside your air water, bring out. So you put the fire, then you have to draw up inside your air. It take long time. So, actually fire have to dry inside your water, taking long time. So put water inside and that water drain out. So that is the method. This is just example, And also like when you get hot, so take hot shower. It's great. Then you go out, no more hot. And use or like heat something. Then you go out, it's better. You can stay long time in the outside and heat hot weather. If you go to take cold bath and using something very cold, stay in the air condition, come out so hot, you cannot stay too long. You have to come back again right away. So that means like you're using the very temporary solutions. You wanted to become longer solution. Then if you wanted to go to hot weather, you have to take hot shower and come from your heat. Inside your room is very hot. You go outside the hot weather, not that problem. Yeah. So it's different become. And then when you get thirsty and hot weather, you really get thirsty. You have a choice like drink the 1 cup of hot water or 1 cup of cold water. So which one you're going to pick up? Usually people pick up, of course, cold water because it's easy. And you don't want hot and hot again. So those like crazy, hot water. In the hot weather, you drink hot water, it's crazy. But you drink the cold water, don't stay too long. You become more hot. And you drink that hot water, and couple of minutes of course hard, difficulty, but slowly your body is heat up inwardly. The outer heat not that much give you difficulty, and your stay is longer, not thirsty. Cold water drink is easily you get thirsty. Hot water, tea is stay longer. So that's the solution. Vajrayana solution means like when you get hot weather, you get thirsty. They give you hot tea to drink, not cold ice water for you, give you. Okay. And so that's why when you're going to get very cold weather, before you have to take cold showers. In Tibet, when it comes beginning to winter, we take the horse in the ice water and put ice water in the horse's heart. Like 100 times, the horse is like shaking, like really cannot standing. That kind you have to make for the horse. Otherwise, horse cannot go through the winter. So that helps like horses like in the winter, then without the cloth covering, is he can stay, and I mean the horses go take care of winter easily. So otherwise, the weather too cold, horse is going to be die in the cold weather. So that's always a solution you're giving. So otherwise, like cold winter is coming, then you take horse in the water and put more colder for the horse. That is like kind of like terrible for because you cold still you put more suffering for the horse, right? Temporarily you see you giving suffering for the horse, but truly horse can go through that winter weather, cold weather without suffering. So like that, this Vajrayana method, temporarily you right away you see suffering, but it scares like better solution. That's why it's not easy to take. So if you get sick and the two medicines give it to you, one is more wrathfully, like kind of like test is really bad. One is a really good test. You take really very good test, but maybe today is recover, tomorrow still you err. You take the very difficult bad test. It's very hard to eat, but you eat that medicine, maybe tomorrow you're recovering. So like that, this Vajrayana method is solution is. And when you get sick, eat medicine is a sutra tradition. When you get sick, something wrong in your body, surgery, take all that. It's Vajrayana method. It's harder, but it's a better solution. In sacred Mantrayana, we do not do it this way. So one of the unique phases of the skillful means of Mantrayana is using like subduing, like just as we needed to use water to dislodge water from the air. And just as we needed to apply fire in order to hear the pain of a burn wood created by fire. It's very painful again. No one wants this solution. If you get burn your body, of course, like we get hurt something, always we use ice water, right? Cold something. But it's good solution is like when you get burned, so you have to create heat. And then that recovering, it's a better solution. But people don't want that because it's always like we are same as the kids. Kids don't want to take the not really great test medicine, right? You give that kids crying. So like that, and good solution is hard to take, hard to accept. But long as you take, you use, is more powerful. That is called Vajrayana method. Then we meditate on deity appearance as an antidote to confused appearances. So now the Sutra tradition investigating. Yeah, analytically, all this object is not exist inherently. So we already talked method, sutra tradition, what they use. Vajrayana, no need to think about the table is exist or not. The house is exist or not. No need to think about that. The house is transformed to the deity's palace. Meditate. Yeah. And all this inner sentient beings meditate is Yadam deity, form body. And transform to the Yadam deity's form. Then the whatever you hear in song is meditate is deity's mantra. So that is like different method using more powerful than the first one. So it's not easy to do that. If you use that method, it's more beneficial, more powerful. So that's why just as we see Yadam, I mean here is created by, I see the where is it? Created by fire. We meditate on deity appearance. So we meditate or it's Yadam deity's form body. And then you visualize the Yadam deity, and then your fixation, perception to appearances is gone. So we have very strong fixation, perception, percepts all this in pure appearances. So long as you visualize Yadam deity form, all this impure appearances, perception all gone. So transformed. That's why it's deity appearances as an antidote to confused appearances. Impure appearances transformed to the Yadam deity's form body. We could cultivate the pride of ourselves as the deity as an antidote to pride of ego or ego identity, and so forth. So visualize, ourselves is Yadam deity. You really understand our inner true nature is not different than these Yadam deities. Same essence, same nature, and you have that kind of confidence, and then yourself visualize yourself as a deity, connect with the enlightened beings. So that is directly antidote to our ego clinging. This is called positive ego clinging. Positive, so antidote to negative ego clinging. We have a negative ego clinging. That's why we meditate this pride of ego identity and so forth. We visualize ourselves as the deity as antidote to pride or ego identity. And the anger, we visualize wrath for deities. And ignorant, we visualize these animals' heads, like Yadam deities' form bodies. And attachment, that's why we visualize the Yadam deity of the, Yap and the Yom unions like that. So that's also method. So you cannot attach to the method, right? And otherwise, like your medicines become poison. So you use that, and solution is totally different. We visual meditate. Yap and the Yom Yadam deities is antidote attachment, ordinary, like our, father and mother, and ordinary this attachment is percepts or this karmic imprints or purifying. But then use that object and you attachment, it's become your medicine, it's become poison. So that's why it's like have to follow by individual level. We have this method, different method. We have this different kind of yadam that is form bodies. Is all different ways of solution to our emotions. So use this method. That method is we have to contract it our emotions, but we use that method create emotions again, then we like become wrong method, is not ready to use that method. Your medicines become create poisons. That's why here we cultivate pride ourselves as the deity as an antidote to pride of ego identity and so forth. In this way, so we meditate on concepts to overcome concepts. See, overcome concepts, right? It's very important to meditate on concepts to overcome concepts. Attachment concepts is Yadam deity, Yap and Yom union. Anger concepts, antidote is wrath for deities, so like that. It is the skillful means. So that's all skillful means of Mantrayana. The despair impure concepts, the antidote to impure concepts. If we don't apply, this impure precepts, then it's using method is incorrect. So we using whatever we using method, it must be despair impure precepts. It's antidote to the emotions. If we create more emotions, then your using method is become wrong. So that's why it's everything this Vajrayana author symbol object using method, it must have to have antidote to our emotions. If the practice using this method is not antidote emotions, then the practice is not going to right directions. So you have to change the practice. Maybe go back to Sutriya tradition method is more suitable for us. So Vajrayana, the method is not suitable. That's we have to understanding. We cannot say, oh, that method is bad, because it's not suitable for individual. Yeah. So you need something different. That's why all these so many different teachings. We have to pick up which is very suitable for us. Here you understand Vajrayana teaching, what they're talking about the method, but some people maybe not suitable. Then long as you have these teachings, you have good precepts. Oh, Vajrayana teaching is not wrong, but it's not suitable for me, right? Same is like right now, we have a like what are called the medicine for the coronavirus. What is it called? Vaccines. It's great, but maybe not suitable for some individuals, just like that, So that's why everything is followed by individual. You cannot say it's good. You cannot say it's bad, or it's up to individual levels. This vaccines is, some people say it's bad or put it black. Some people say, oh, it's white, it's great. It's always followed by individual. You cannot do that. It's always up to individual have suitable or not. So that's the same method. It's always teaching is like that here. In this way, we meditate on concepts to overcome concepts. It is the skillful means of Mantrayana, that despair impure concepts. So we must, important is despair impure precepts. This is why the development stage practice is also known as skillful means practice. That's called the skillful method practice. This is what we mean when we say that in the part of sacred Mantrayana, we do not reject concepts or emotional poisons. So people, practitioners have sometimes misunderstood that thing, or I don't have to give up my attachment. yeah, emotions. So that is misunderstood. Vajrayana also not accepting emotions. So never say emotion is great. But Vajrayana don't telling you get rid of emotions. You know, the emotion transform. You use special method solution, create wisdom. Don't get rid of that solution, you know, change it wisdom. Sutra tradition, mostly method is get rid of. Emotion get rid of. So that's why here, Vajrayana don't say get rid of. That means people think, oh, Vajrayana, no problem with emotion. Emotion is a problem, but Vajrayana change the emotion. You know, take to the wisdom. So then that's why it has like so many different methods, outer level, inner level, and the secret levels. This method is focused for the inner level method. Secret level method is come from the next way, you know, next time is a completion stages teaching. So that method is more secret level method. And this one is focused with the inner level method. So transform like impure percept is transformed to the pure percept. Called generation stage. We all mind is attached fixation to all this. Our mind is clinging to all the object. So object means many outer universal, inner sentient beings, and then outer universal, outer part is like world and house. So this all outer is transforming pure percepts. Buddha's pure create. Inner sentient beings meditate or the yadam that is form bodies. So that's a method is using is for the inner level practice. No escape from in practice. This is what we mean when we say that in the part of sacred mantra we do not reject concepts or emotional opposing. Make sure you understand this. It does not mean you just indulge in your mundane concept and poisons. So we never say like mundane precepts and poison have to get rid of, or you can be there. We have to change or get rid of, right? Get rid of is a sutra tradition. Change, transform is Vajrayana method. So then next, there is the yoga of recitation. Next is yoga recitation. I think we can finish here today. And if you have questions, we can discussion. Yoga recitation. We can share tomorrow. Okay, so now we can do first that thing. Prayer for the dedication, and after then we can discussion. Dorjen Chang, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Malarepa, Dharma Lord Gambopa, Hamotupa, Lord Digompa. Please bestow upon us most auspicious blessed of all Kaju Lamas. By this virtue may I achieve omniscience. By defeating all enemies, confusion. May all who traverse on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death, cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise, where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray the Lama may have a good health. I pray the Lama may have a long life. I pray that your Dharma activities are purified and wide. I pray that I may not be separate from you. As Manjushri, the Vero realized the ultimate state, and as did the Samantha, but I will follow in the path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddha who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the true of unchanging Dharma as such, by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha, order may the merit I share bear fruit. By this virtue collected in the three times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by in the rule of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious enlightenment. May the teaching of Great Gompa Ranashiri, who is omniscient, Lord of Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue to increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation unto the end of the samsara. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Okay, so do you have any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, Lama.
When you talk about divine pride, what is the difference between divine pride or just have big self-ego, think that I'm really wonderful?
Can you say
What
again?
is different between that? Like if I want to generate divine pride, and how do I know that divine pride is very different from those people who have great ego and think they are the best thing among everything, like my parents. And so I just feel that like they act like they know everything and they really make you believe they know everything. But so for us as a children with this kind of parent, you usually don't have any pride. You just feel really down and down and down because you feel really bad. Everything you did was wrong. But when I try to just think that I'm the Buddha, I feel really happy and feel really, really strong and everything. But then I say, am I acting like my father and I'm acting like those really egomaniac? They are just so self-centered. They just think about themselves and they are beyond everyone. What is the difference between that divine pride and those really egoistic people? What is that difference? What is the subtle difference?
One is negative, one is positive.
But how do you know that I'm doing it right? I'm positive instead of just acting like those egomaniacs.
So of course, like all these sentient beings have a negative ego, emotions. Then positive ego, we have to create, like study first this generation stage, and then you meditate, practice, so you get confident yourself. It's ego means like just words is ego, but it's confident, really confident. You recognize yourself as Buddha.
Like I always like to visualize myself with Gachin Rinpoche and think all his good quality and believe I can have that kind of quality. But I never see one single thing in that Gachin Rinpoche as pride or as really big ego or as anything. Just see love and compassion in him. So I don't see that pride.
This your drawing is like correct. It's we call the visualization. So you visualizing, but then in the visualization we talk about the very clearly. So maybe you visualize the Gachin Rinpoche is very visualized clearly, but you go another step is called step of divine pride. Step of divine pride is not only just separate guru and you. step of divine pride is Guru, Yadam, and our mind is connections, inseparable, recognized. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you meditate, you know any thoughts, your mind, no any thoughts, no emotion, no thoughts. That time you visualize Guru clearly, inseparable with Yadam, and then you look to your mind. Guru's mind is no thoughts. Your mind is no thoughts. So then both are same essence, same connection. So you that time then you really look to yourself is no different Guru. Okay.
To my experience, whenever I visualize with Gatin Namboche and see that I'm comparing to the only emotion I have is joy, just joy and joy and joy, happiness. Was that not correct?
That's good. This is good. That good.
Okay.
So that's good. That connect. That helps you become more put into your practice. It's
Okay.
good positive feeling. So that give you more, effort, joyful effort. You get more enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So we need that.
Okay. I am still not very clear of that step of divine pine, like Guru Idam and my as inseparable, and there's no fault there, and just believe what? Believe I'm the identity, I'm the Guru, and I'm the Buddha.
So if you can think about like, okay, do this way. Meditate first. Your Guru is important. Visualize in front, and then meditate, visualize, and then you look to your mind. So visualize at the same time, like not mind is looking this way, just mind is bring into like this. Your mind is not exist, right? It's empty, it's present clearly. So then that is bring this Guru and your that present is clearly, your awareness, your mind is no thoughts, it's inseparable. So then you just stay in that meditation. It's called the divine pride.
Okay.
So divine
Okay. I
pride
will try it.
essence is Mahamudra meditation. Essence is Mahamudra meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If someone don't know the Mahamudra meditation, then hard to connect with this inner connection and is understanding truly, ourselves is Guru.
Okay.
So we talk about like use outer Guru, recognize inner Guru. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Once you recognize inner Guru, then you have confident divine pride, positive divine pride yourself. So use outer Guru and look to your own mind, discover your true nature.
Mm-hmm.
Or inner Guru.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so then any questions? Emila, you have a really nice, beautiful Dakini knife. What are you
Thank
cutting?
you. I'm cutting the self-grasping
Uh,
of all sentient beings. I'm cutting my own issues.
Kashidale.
My best friend, he's a Buddhist Rinpoche.
Kashidale.
Rashida, like,
I want to be a Dakini.
okay. Okay, so then anyone has questions? finish, yeah? So the no questions means like teaching is very clear.
You're right.
Okay. Or maybe your knowledge, today is you really pay attention for teaching. So your wisdom is very sharp. Thank you, everyone. So have a good day and see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Grandpa.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Blessings. Thank you, everyone. Bye.